Is Caitlin Clark quietly getting ready to walk away from the WNBA? Or is she just proving how big her name really is while the league figures itself out? Her latest move has a lot of people asking that exact question because the timing, the platform, and the way it's being framed are all very interesting. The Indiana Fever star is stepping into a completely new lane. Caitlin Clark has officially been announced as a special contributor for NBC Sports, joining the launch of Basketball Night in America on February 1st, live from Madison Square Garden. That's not just any broadcast. It's tied directly into NBC's new Sunday night basketball package, debuting with one of the most high-profile matchups you can put on national TV, the LA Lakers taking on the New York Knicks at the Garden. And right in the middle of that NBA spotlight, you're going to see Caitlin Clark on set. She's not just making a cameo either. She'll be on the desk alongside Maria Taylor, plus 3 Naismith Basketball Hall of Famers, Carmelo Anthony, Vince Carter, and Tracy McGrady. That's a serious lineup of NBA royalty, and the Fever Guard, still in the early stages of her professional career, is being dropped right in with them to break down the night's action. On its face, this is a huge win for Caitlin personally, for women's basketball, and for the WNBA's visibility. An active WNBA player being featured as a key voice on a major NBA broadcast is not something we've seen often. Normally, these national studio chairs go to retired legends or current players who are clearly winding down their careers and easing into media. That's why a lot of people zoned in on one specific part of her statement about the deal. Clark said she's really excited to join the Basketball Night in America crew this season, called Carmelo, Vince, and T-Mac legends of the game, praised Maria Taylor as a true professional, and then slipped in the key detail: she'll be joining them a few times this season. That wording tells us a lot. She's not becoming a full-time broadcaster. She's not stepping away from the Indiana Fever. She's not suddenly changing jobs, but she is deliberately entering a lane that traditionally has been reserved for players who are either done playing or thinking about life after basketball. And all of this is happening while the WNBA is in the middle of a very tense, very important moment. The league and the players' union are currently locked in negotiations over a new collective bargaining agreement. That CBA will dictate what the next several years of the WNBA looks like, everything from pay structures to scheduling to travel to long-term stability for the players. Until that gets done, there's a cloud of uncertainty hanging over the entire league. There have already been concerns from players about compensation, about how the calendar is set up, and about how sustainable things feel when you're trying to build a long career. Against that backdrop, seeing the WNBA's most marketable names suddenly pop up in a high-profile NBA media role is going to raise eyebrows. People are naturally going to ask, is this just brand expansion, or is there a deeper message here? NBC Sports, for their part, is not hiding how valuable they think she is. Sam Flood, the executive producer at NBC Sports, called Caitlin one of the most captivating players and dynamic scorers in basketball, not just in the WNBA, in basketball, period. He said they're excited to have her join Carmelo, Vince, Tracy, and Reggie Miller in New York for the launch of Sunday Night Basketball. That's a big statement about the level they see her at. Her first appearance on February 1st is strategically placed. She'll be in the building at Madison Square Garden on national television before a Lakers versus Knicks primetime game that's guaranteed to pull massive ratings and heavy social media traffic. Then later in that same night, NBC will air another heavyweight matchup featuring Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and the Oklahoma City Thunder against Jamal Murray and the defending champion Denver Nuggets. The entire doubleheader will go out across NBC, Peacock, and Telemundo. That means Caitlin Clark isn't just talking to WNBA or college fans. She's sitting in front of one of the biggest general basketball audiences of the season. And it doesn't stop with one date. She's already locked in for at least one more appearance, March 29th at the Paycom Center in Oklahoma City when the Thunder host the Knicks. Same role, same kind of stage, another massive national audience. Again, this isn't a full media schedule. It's selective, but it's not trivial either. These are some of the most visible NBA windows NBC has, and Caitlin is part of the rollout. So what is this really? On one hand, this looks like a smart, calculated expansion of her brand. Caitlin was already a phenomenon before she got to the WNBA. Must-watch TV at Iowa, record-breaking ratings, massive social media buzz. With the Indiana Fever, she instantly became the face of the franchise and a central figure in WNBA coverage. Stepping into broadcasting, especially at this level, lets her tap into a brand new audience. A lot of NBA fans still don't watch the WNBA consistently. They know her name, they see the highlights, but they might not have sat through a full Fever game. Now they'll see her regularly in an NBA context, sitting at the desk with names they've grown up watching. That's how you become more than just a league star. You become a mainstream basketball personality. From a career standpoint, it also gives her reps in front of the camera in a different way. Media work is its own skill. Knowing how to break down plays, toss to highlights, handle live conversations with legends, all while being charismatic and insightful. That's something a lot of players don't fully develop until after they retire. Caitlin is getting a head start. On the other hand, the timing with the WNBA's CBA negotiations can't be ignored. The league's top draw aligning herself with a major network during a period where there are serious questions about the league's financial structure and stability sends a subtle message about her value. Whether intentional or not, it's a reminder that Caitlin Clark doesn't just move the needle in women's basketball, she moves the needle in basketball, full stop. If you're the WNBA and the WNBA PA looking at the future of the league, that matters. You have a player who networks, sponsors, and broadcasters all clearly see as a ratings magnet. And now she's sitting at the same desk as Carmelo Anthony and Tracy McGrady, getting introduced to millions as a peer in the conversation. Fans are split on how to read it. Some are excited, seeing it as another huge win for the women's game, an active WNBA superstar being treated like one of the biggest names in the sport across both leagues. Others can't shake the feeling that this is a soft warning sign. They look at the uncertainty around the CBA, remember some of Clark's visible frustrations with parts of the WNBA environment, and wonder if she's intentionally building options beyond the court sooner than expected. The reality, based on what she's actually said, is probably somewhere in between. She's not abandoning the WNBA or the Indiana Fever. The "few times this season" line makes it clear this is a side commitment, but she's also not turning this down just to keep things simple. She knows how big this is, she knows who she's sitting with, and she knows how rare it is for an active female player, especially one so early in her pro career, to be given this kind of role. At the same time, you can tell NBC Sports understands the marketing power behind putting Caitlin Clark on their Sunday night basketball coverage. WWE, the NFL, the NBA, all of them fight to get fresh faces that fans care about on camera. The league has been trying to grow the WNBA audience for years. NBC now gets to say, we've got the most talked about player in women's basketball on our set, breaking down the Lakers, Knicks, Thunder, Nuggets, and more. Long-term, moves like this could help break down some of the walls between how men's and women's basketball are covered. If fans get used to seeing a WNBA guard on the same broadcast as NBA icons, giving smart analysis and holding her own, it chips away at the idea that these are two completely separate worlds. It also sets a template for other WNBA stars. Right now, we're used to seeing retired NBA players, Shaq, Charles Barkley, Dwayne Wade, JJ Redick, dominate the analyst space. You don't see nearly as many current or former WNBA players getting that same mainstream primetime treatment around big NBA events. Caitlin stepping into that lane might open more doors, both for herself and for others. For now, the key facts are simple. Caitlin Clark is still an active player for the Indiana Fever. She's not walking away from basketball. She's not signing off from the WNBA. She is, however, accepting a major opportunity with NBC Sports to be part of the debut of Basketball Night in America, tied to the launch of Sunday Night Basketball. She'll be on set February 1st at Madison Square Garden for Lakers vs. Knicks, and again March 29th in Oklahoma City when the Thunder host the Knicks, with the broadcasts airing on NBC, Peacock, and Telemundo. Between those dates, the WNBA and the Players Union will keep grinding through CBA talks. The questions around scheduling, compensation, and long-term stability will still be there until a new deal is signed. And as all of that plays out, one of the league's brightest stars will be reminding everyone, fans, networks, sponsors, and decision-makers, just how big her reach is. So the question isn't just, is Caitlin Clark stepping away from basketball? Right now, she's not. The better question might be, is she quietly redefining what it looks like to be a WNBA superstar at a time when the league is being forced to rethink its own future? You tell me, do you see this NBC Sports role as a smart way for Caitlin to grow her brand while still carrying the Indiana Fever in the WNBA, or do you think it's an early sign she's preparing for something beyond playing sooner than people expect? Drop your thoughts and keep an eye on that February 1st broadcast from Madison Square Garden, because no matter which way you lean, that's going to be a very revealing night.